Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on my recently established YouTube station, which I set up to discuss some books that I've written, trying to generate some interest in them, market them, and in my last video, I talked about my recently released murder mystery. It's called The Shades Dripped Red, a Nick Montaigne mystery. And just want to say that this book is doing really well. I recently had a free Amazon Kindle promo and gave away almost 2,000 copies of the book, which totally blew me away. Didn't make any money or made very little money at it, but the idea behind these promos is to generate interest and build up a following, and it looks like I may be doing that. So thank you to anybody who's purchased a copy of The Shades Dripped Red and or left a rating or review on Amazon or Goodreads or anywhere. Very grateful for that. Anyway, this video, I want to go back a little bit, go back a ways and discuss the book's predecessor, which is called Black Jackknife, a Nick Montaigne mystery. And this is the debut novel in the series. And this is also where I introduce the main characters. Nick, of course, as well as his burly assistant, a man named Vern Wister, as well as a couple other characters. So yeah, I'd like to talk about them and maybe go into a little bit about the plot, not give too much away, but give you an idea of what goes on in the book. So anyway, first off, let's go with the characters. Nick Montaigne, I based off of the Sean Connery version of James Bond. Some of you older folks might remember the Connery Bond movies. I was a big fan, still am, as a matter of fact. And so I based Nick off the Sean Connery Bond. I have him into fine clothing, fine cuisine. He likes flashy cars, especially Porsches. Porsches are a fetish of his. He likes attractive women like Bond. Little bit different though. He has a touch of vanity about him and he's not afraid to poke fun at himself. He, unlike Bond, who's British, Nick Montaigne lives in, although he's a Northern American, he lives in Atlanta, Georgia, where he has an office with his partner, a man named Vern Wister. And Vern represents kind of the comic element in my books. He is the antithesis of Nick. He's hardly cultured or debonair. He dresses somewhat sloppily. He's a family man. He's a husband and father, unlike Nick. He is prone to malapropisms and mispronunciations. And instead of Glenlivet Scotch, which Nick drinks, Vern drinks vodka, which he refers to as a vodka Vernon's. So Vern represents kind of the humorous element in my books, and I think you'll find him pretty interesting. A couple minor characters I have are Nick's longtime girlfriend. Her name is Annette Annie McBain. She's about 9 years older than Nick. She works at a downtown Atlanta travel agency. She loves Nick, and she tolerates his flings, but at the same time, she's pining for marriage. She can't wait until she becomes Annette McBain Montaigne, which Nick isn't quite ready for. There's also a minor character I have in my books, in my Montaigne books, called Gilberto, and he's an Italian restaurateur. He owns a popular sort of high-end restaurant in downtown Atlanta where the regulars, a lot of the characters often meet. And he's another comic element similar to Vern. Okay, so those are the regular characters. Plot. I want to discuss the plot behind Black Jackknife a little bit. I deliberately set this book on the Georgia section of the Appalachian Trail. I'm a big backpacker, and I've hiked this section twice. So I wanted a setting that I was familiar with. Most writers try and draw from their own personal experiences, and I'm no exception. So I thought it would be cool if I set the murder mystery on the Appalachian Trail. And because it's set on the Georgia Appalachian Trail, Georgia section of the Appalachian Trail, I deliberately located Nick's office in the city of Atlanta. Even though I've never stayed in Atlanta very long, I've only passed through there. I wanted a city that was close to the Georgia Appalachian Trail. Hence, even though Nick is a Northern American, I have him in Atlanta. And what happens in the book is a college-age couple turns up missing. They were hiking the trail, and when they turn up missing, the father of the boy, the college-age boy, contacts Nick and Vern to find his son. Eventually, however, the disappearances kind of morph into murder, and I won't say exactly who's murdered. You'll find that out in the book, but the case takes on a more serious turn. Some guest characters in the book include, of course, the father, who is an arrogant attorney, a trial attorney, and he comes into conflict with Nick. There's a personality conflict, but also there's an issue with clothing. Again, Nick has fine taste in clothes, and he doesn't like this guy's clothing. There's also a musical conflict that provides yet another humorous element in the story. In addition to this arrogant attorney, there's his ex-wife, beautiful ex-wife, also a lawyer, and a passel of tennis jocks at Emory University. And the tennis players each have different personalities, and what happens is they sort of become involved in the case, and at least one or two of them additionally become suspects. Anyway, if I say any more, I'll give too much away, so I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I just want to end up with the fact that Black Jackknife received great reviews from Publishers Weekly, which is one of the top book reviewing publications in the country, in addition to Midwest Book Review. Both of these entities offer free, unbiased reviews, so I didn't have to pay for these like a lot of writers do. Paying for reviews, well, it goes against my ethics. Nothing against writers who do pay for reviews, but it's just my own personal thing. So yeah, these folks, Publishers Weekly and Midwest Book Review, offered free, unbiased reviews, and they don't always give you positive reviews. If they don't like the book, it's going to be a negative review. I got positive reviews, so a little feather in my cap, and I'm real happy about that. So just want to brag about it a little bit. Anyway, that's it. Thanks again for tuning in. And again, if you haven't already, check out either Black Jackknife or my latest, The Shade Stripped Red. And feel free to leave ratings, reviews, comments here on YouTube. Even if the comments are, opinions on the hideous lighting I have or my wall hangings. Obviously, I'm a fan of older rock music. So if you don't like my wall hangings or the lighting, please tell me. I won't be offended. And next time I'll talk about my second book, which is a trail hiking memoir that I call Evergreen Dreaming. And this book has actually sold more copies than any of my other books. And I get into a lot about hiking and the people I met and thoughts going through my head. I talk about environment, blah, blah, blah. So that'll be next time, Evergreen Dreaming. Till then, take care, have a great October, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.